A far-right radio show host running for office in Michigan State Senate as a Democrat is now saying that the news that broke in the last couple days of the racist things he said, no, they were being taken out of context. And so we're gonna evaluate it. First of all, this is Randy Bishop, you can see right there. He made comments on his March 31st radio show. And he was basically talking about how the media is controlled by black people. And they make up issues to suppress white Americans. They make up stuff about voter suppression, police brutality, stuff like that. So he says, I can't even watch a college basketball tournament without commercials telling me I have to feel guilty because I think a family should be a white mom, a white dad, and white kids. They want us to die and go away. And they're going to try to do it through politics this year. Well, we have got to be just as smart. He's not demonstrating being smart there, but he wants it. He says, why are we allowing such a small percentage of our population, in this case, African Americans, to control our society? Because they own the media, because they own the politicians, because they own the public schools. Which is not a conspiracy theory, Waz, that I've actually heard before, that black people own all of the public schools and media companies. That's kind of mixing it up. I like new conspiracy theories. What do you make of this guy?
When did we steal the media away from the Jews? I'm confused about this.
I don't know.
I thought traditionally it was the Jews that owned everything in media. This is, this is sad, man. This is sad. Like when your sort of talking point is that black people are running and dictating everything. Well, I got news for you, man. If black people are running and dictating everything, they sure as hell ain't using it for themselves. It's the same old people making the same old money, and the same old people staying in the horrible positions that they are. But maybe that's part of the racist ideology. We're just too stupid to help ourselves, even though we run and own everything. I don't know.
Oh my God, geez. Yeah, and let's say that you are a black person who's listening to that commentary, and you're trying to I want to try to do what you want. What do you want me to do? So he says, a family should be a white mom, a white dad, and white kids. What are you supposed to do with that? I mean, that's not even just, I don't think that the races should mix. So you can't have a family that's not all white? Like you can't just have some people that used to live in Mexico, but they have a family now? What are you supposed to do with this information? There's such a lack of logic in right-wing conspiracy theories. But anyway, look, the Michigan Democrats obviously don't want this guy running as a Democrat. They put out a tweet saying he's not a Democrat, but we have to be fair to him. He says that those lines we just read for you have been taken out of context, that we're being unfair to him. He was simply responding to a comment made by one of his callers. He said, I don't have a racist bone in my body, which I have discovered through the course of my life. You can say and still be a racist. It turns out you can just lie and just say that. Anyway, he says he suggested that he's only running as a Democrat to confuse voters. Then he claimed that comment was taken out of context. He said that he wants listeners, regardless of party affiliation, to register to run for statewide office as Democrats. We need to run the absolute craziest strategy in the history of Michigan politics this year. We need to confuse the Democrats. But then he said, no, wait, no, I'm actually a Democrat. That's out of context. This guy is the dumbest donkey in the barnyard. He doesn't even know how to con people. Why?
But what I do like about this, John, is that this is democracy, right? Even a guy as boneheaded and clearly off his rocker as this dude. This is what democracy looks like, the Dems shouldn't have a monopoly on who can run as a Democrat. Obviously, I'm not obsessed with the Democratic Party apparatus or establishment. The fact that this clown can do that means that somebody who was more competent, smarter, and had better ideas could also do something like this and hopefully gain some traction. So to me, this is a good thing, democratically speaking. You know what I mean? Small d, democratically speaking, that this clown show could get on the Democratic Party ticket.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't make it into actual elected office. I think state legislatures are important. But this guy, look, I'm sure there's been candidates like this always, especially at the state level. But this guy thought that this was gonna be like a winner. Like he's like, I am killing it. I am a right-wing media figure. I know what my audience wants. They want to hear racism. So that's what I'm gonna give them. We will see. Will this guy actually win? I don't know. By the way, I saw a comment on the Twitch chat. It was next up on Ow My Balls. And I was like, is that a reference to Idiocracy? And it is. And that's the culture that we have right now. It is just a bunch of dumb nonsense.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.